Welcome to the Made for Business show where Catholic moms come to learn how to build a business that is simple, holy, and profitable. I'm Sterling Jakewith, and today we're talking about how you can learn about sales as you watch yourself buy things for the holidays. So, for those of you in products, by the time the beginning of November rolls around, you probably have already figured out your ads, how you're dripping out the products, all of those things, right? Black Friday is coming. Most of you have kind of nailed that down. This is for everyone else who sells anything, okay? One of the biggest challenges in being a business owner is the self-doubt that we have that people want to buy our things. And we also tend to have this belief about ourselves that we don't understand sales and marketing. Because we don't come out of the womb understanding sales and marketing. Most of us don't learn that in school. And so as we cultivate the skill of whatever we offer, a product or a service, it doesn't naturally come with knowing how to sell that thing. Okay? So all the time I'm talking about sales and marketing with my clients. But I want you to know that you can learn so much about sales watching yourself be sold. Okay? So all of you are about to buy a whole bunch of things in November and December. You're going to buy things as soon as the weather changes. You're going to buy things to get ready for Thanksgiving. You're going to buy things for your kids being in that music recital. And then you're going to buy Christmas presents. Okay? So you're going to be a person who's walking around and you want something. You have a need that needs to be filled. Okay? And it might be with a service, like getting your hair cut. And it might be with a product, like buying a stuffy blanket for your kiddo. Okay. My kids love blankets. Pretty sure I'll end up buying a blanket for Christmas for someone. Okay. Maybe it's kind of open-ended, like, ooh, I need to buy something for my mother-in-law. And you don't even really have an idea of what that is, but your brain is going to be open. Wow, we kind of need something for the mother-in-law. And it's just going to be taking in information. Right? You get a ton of ads thrown at you all the time. And so you're taking in this information and then you're filtering it out. No, that's not it. That's not quite right. And then something will just kind of pop. Bing! It'll feel like that. Oh, I think that's what I want. Okay. And I want you to pay attention to why. Why did you stop scrolling? Maybe you're on Instagram and Instagram throws you an ad for a holiday dress. Why did you stop scrolling for that dress? Or that blanket? Or this advertisement for zoo lights? Why did you stop scrolling? First, pay attention to that. And then ask yourself, what questions did my brain start wondering? How much is it? When is that? Can we go? Would she like that? How can I buy it? How quickly could it get here? You're buying things all the time. And when you pay attention to how you buy things as a consumer, it helps you understand the psychology of how humans buy things. And for most of you, your target market is pretty similar to who you are. So you can bet that for me, right? I sell business coaching to Catholic moms. So all of my clients are pretty similar to me. And they want to grow their business and they're thinking about growing their business. And they have a moment where they think, you know what? I need some help. And they're not really sure what kind of help that they need. Should they get a Facebook ads course? Should they get a one-on-one business coach? Should they join a program? Should they join Amy Porterfield's thing and build their email list? Right? And their brain is going to be kind of open to, hey, I need some help. And then it's going to see all of these ads. It's going to listen to all this information and it's kind of filtering them out. And then something will kind of rise to the top. And it might be the right day. And it might be at the right moment when they're scrolling through something. It might be in a podcast episode, right? I mean, I think God moves our hearts to pay attention to certain things. And so we feel that kind of Holy Spirit nudging. And then we ask questions. We ask more questions for 4-digit purchases than we do for 2-digit purchases, right? I also find that it's much easier to buy something for someone else than it is to buy something for yourself. So you can probably guess that your clients have that same experience. But pay attention to how you buy things. I was just talking to somebody who was interested in the society, and she hadn't spent 4 digits of money on her business. And so it was hard for her to think that somebody else would do that. And I said, yeah, it's going to be pretty difficult for you to sell something that you've never purchased. If you've never invested 4 digits into your business, your brain will, of course, tell you other people don't want to do that. And that's not hard for me because I'm now to the place where I invest 5 digits into my business. And I do it regularly. I haven't gotten to 6 yet. I don't know how much money. I know there are a couple $100,000 programs you can invest in. I'm like, how much money do you have to make to just be like, oh yeah, I'm going to pay $100,000 for that. I'll let you know if I ever do that. But I spent $40,000 on business coaching this year. And that was the most I had ever spent. But because I've spent that, I believe there are people who spend that, right? And so pay attention to how you buy things, and that will help you to understand how other people buy things. And so I think the holidays is just a really good time because I just already know you guys are buying things. And I want you to pay attention to how you talk yourself into buying something. Because you're going to talk yourself into buying. You're going to be at Target and you went for one thing and you're going to see things you weren't planning on buying and you're going to talk yourself into buying them. Okay? And your clients are going to have the same experience. They're going to see the thing that you offer and they're going to talk themselves into it. The cost to join the Made for Business Society is a little bit higher than it was the last time that I offered it. And so some of you were like waiting for me to open the doors again and you want to join it and you're going to be like, ooh, that's a little bit more than I was thinking it was going to be. And then you're going to have to talk yourself into it. You're going to have to talk your brain into why it's still worth it. Why growing your business, having a coach, being in a community with other Catholic moms who are building businesses is worth it. I know it's worth it, right? And I know that spending a year purposefully gaining business skills, like going to business school, is absolutely worth the investment of time and money. And remember, for those of you that are selling services, you're not just asking them for money, you're asking them for their time. And in my business, for Catholic moms, that's a big deal. Me asking you for an hour is almost a bigger ask than $100. Especially if it's an hour where you need to be focused without your kids. Now, all my society clients know there are kids around, and that's just fine. We're not asking for like childcare time where nobody is there. Several moms have babies, and they're like, turn their camera off to nurse their baby or bouncing babies. But this is what I know about my client and the question my client is going to ask. Do I have the time? Do I have the money? What am I going to do with my kids? What do I want with my business? A lot of the society clients are coming from, they've been kind of playing at business for a little while, flying under the radar. Now they want to click into, I really want to run this business. And that usually involves them having to sit down with their husband and have that conversation. Hey, I know I've been kind of doing this thing in my office and you don't really understand what I'm doing, but I really want to make a go of this. I want to build a business that makes $5,000 a month. I want to work 10, 15 hours a week. This is important to me. God has put this on my heart. And I think working with Sterling, having a business coach is going to shortcut that process so I get to that place faster. And she's going to help me not lose my mind and not completely ignore the kids to build this business. Right? Because it's not just the time that we're working. I teach my clients how to leave their work in the office so that when they leave their office, they can be present with the kids. Because some of you might only be in your office for 10 hours, but you're distracted and worrying all the time. And so you feel like you're working so much more than you're working. Right? And I share this because I know my client really well, mostly because it was just me like 3 years ago. So it's pretty easy for me to imagine. But also now I have enough clients and I talk to them that I know what commonalities they have. And I know how they buy things. And so I can address the questions that come up in their mind in my sales process, both in my emails and in my Instagram posts, and then when they get on the phone with me. If they don't mention their husband, I 100% mention the husband. I'm like, where's your husband at on this? Because he is part of the decision. And so I want you to pay attention to how you are buying things over the next 6 weeks. Make mental notes, or if you have ADHD like me, then make voice memo notes in your phone that you can capture later or email yourself some notes because I do not remember. And just know that there is a process for how human brains talk themselves into buying things. And the more you understand that, and the more you put yourself in the shoes of your clients and you imagine where are they while they're thinking about buying your thing, what questions is their brain going to have, and how can I make it easier for them to talk themselves into buying this? We're not manipulating them. We don't trick people, right? I'm not tricking any of my clients. My clients are moms who want to grow their business. And of course they're nervous to spend 4 digits of money on coaching. That's a huge decision. And it is my job to answer enough of their questions for them to decide if they want to do it or not. I'll be honest, most of the time, the decision they're making is on timing. Is this round the right time for me to join, or am I going to join in the next round? Usually that's what my client is deciding. And so it's my job to give her all the information I can give her to make that decision. But she wants to buy it. She wants to grow her business. She's ready to invest in herself. A lot of my clients, I am literally their first big business investment. And I take that very seriously. And that's why I spend as much time with them as they need answering questions until they feel ready to make that decision. So, no matter what you do, whether you sell products or services, no matter what stage of business you're in, even you ladies who are doing 6 and 7 figures, pay attention to how you buy things and let that inform you on how to be better at sales. All of us are in the sales business. All of us could be better at selling. And now is a really great time to just observe how human brains buy things or don't buy things. All right, you guys, I love you. I'm praying for you. Get to work and have a blessed day.